Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Morning Woods podcast. And not in studio today, but via Zoom, I have a very special guest. This guy has a huge YouTube channel. He's very popular on YouTube, and you should definitely go and check out his content. But it's the creator of the Joke World channel. Would you like to introduce yourself, my dude?
What's going on? My name is Jake Raumbach. Excited to be on the show, and thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for being here. I watch your stuff all the time, and I was just thinking about stuff to talk with you about because I kind of been studying your channel a little bit. But
Mhm.
it's it's a very niche market, obviously, but it's something that's really taken off, and I think it's something that people need. People who like me, who are fans of comedy, but who also have a life outside of listening to podcasts and everything. It's really nice to have someone break down the best of the best and all of my favorites, just the compilation videos and also the news that you're doing. It's amazing, dude. And who knew that this would be a job, right? Did you ever think that like
It's hilarious. There's a lot of comments about it because I guess at some point on this past weekend, Theo Von had a pretty famous line or joke about how kind of stupid podcasts are in general, and that one day there'd probably eventually be a podcast about podcasts. And people comment that on the news thing all the time because it is dumb in a way, but also it's like if you're a fan of one of these guys that are in the compilations or in the podcasts that we cover on the channel, then you're probably a fan of these other 15 people, you know. And so I'm just trying to make like a watering hole where you can come and talk about all these different people because they relate to one another. They go on each other's shows. There's a dynamic there. And
yes.
before you probably have to go individually to everyone's channel, and they're not really a place to just comedy fans of all these different comedians are in kind of the same group, just to come together and be able to interact, talk about their favorite comedians or stuff going on, just kind of all in one place. So that was always the vision, but it's just recently in the past few weeks or months, I'd say, like it's especially the news over the compilations have really been taken off. So that's cool to see.
I think it's awesome, bro. I love that you found something within the business while you're also a comedian, right? You also do stand up, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
but
I've seen you post some pics and stuff with some bigger people. So it's just cool that you get to be involved in the business while also on the come up as a stand up, right? So
yeah, for sure.
it's an opportunity you've created for yourself though, which is dope.
Yeah, I think I'm trying not to really mix like my personal stand up in with the page. It's more something that I like to do just to stay up to date, be able to relate to these comedians when I'm talking with someone like yourself or like on my own podcast when I'm interviewing someone on Zoom. And I just love to get up there and be on stage. That was something I was doing before Joke World, but I want to be careful to not be like, oh, now I have this platform of people that I'm helping see all these comedians that they love all in one place. I don't want to just start throw my stand up on top of that, so I'm still mainly keeping that, trying to keep them separate, if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense. And how can I follow your other page? Do you have like a personal page where you're also working the stuff out? Because I obviously found you through YouTube videos and then through Instagram from the clips. But is there somewhere people can find you specifically? That way they can watch your journey and your stand up. Because I'm interested in that too. I was trying to find your name and I was trying to dig on you a little bit and try to find out who you are. But it's kind of
Yeah, my personal Instagram is private right now, but if you want to go follow it, that's where I post some pictures and stuff from stand up. I haven't honestly, like, once Joke World kind of started, I haven't really been following my own social media presence like that strongly, or posting things myself, just because it takes a lot of work to be running an Instagram, trying to get TikToks up, and then also the edits that take so much time to come through
yeah.
all these podcasts. So as the channel gets more success and I have kind of stepped into this role as more of a commentator and editor, um, posting stuff myself has kind of taken a backseat. So I mean, I film all my sets and stuff, but right now I don't know, you could follow my personal account and there's some pictures from years ago doing stand up, but I don't know if there's not a place that I've been currently uh posting material.
Well, I like what you're doing. First of all, I like how humble you are about the fact that you have this channel that's like in growing like wildfire, and you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna put my own stuff out there. That's incredible to me, and it's also Just it just shows your character that you're just doing it for the love of the comedy, bro, and that's what we're all really here for. Like we're fans of it. Like we want to be in the business, but if you can find a way to work in this game without while you're on the come up, right? Because it takes 5, 10 years sometimes. We're not all TikTok stars. We're not all Chris Rock or Chappelle where we're just going to get noticed like that. So it takes a long time, I think, in this to get a foothold in this business. So I just think it's awesome, bro, and it's really humbling to hear you, with all the numbers that you're doing, just say like, I don't really give a shit about my own stuff. I'm just going to continue to make good content for people who love comedy, and I just want to say, shout out to you. That's fucking great.
I appreciate that. That feels good to hear. But I mean, I think it's the purpose of the whole channel. You know, I feel like people need a place to go, be able to talk and discuss about every comedian all at once. And like I said, like in the beginning, I want to make like a sports center for comedy or for comedians. And um, I don't think it would be possible or as successful or maybe as easy if I wasn't tied to the industry in some way, at least, you know, have been on stage plenty of times and get the process of writing a joke or into going on stage and stuff like that. I don't know if that would have if it would have worked out as well. So I mean, it all plays in, and just if I'm not posting my own stuff, that doesn't mean that it's not important to keep going out there and uh, you know, being able to feel what it feels like to be a comedian.
Yeah, it's different. It's something that I've tried to describe it to people before, but I have a hard time verbalizing kind of the feeling that you get when you have a really good idea or a really good joke, especially if it's like a brand new joke and you're like, oh wow, and yeah, it's so hard to describe. It's a drug. It's like heroin. It's so addictive, but you can't really tell people about it. you know?
No, and just like when it works too, like when you're in a room and you get that laugh from a bunch of people, you're on the stage and you're made nervous
No
before,
idea who
and
you are.
then yeah, it just all goes away. And I think a lot of that, like you said, they have no idea who you are. I wonder what it's like, you know, being one of these touring, really well established comedians that might be on the news updates or something like that. Because going into a club where everyone is a fan of you and is excited to hear what you have to say and knows your whole backstory, in a lot of ways, it's got to add some pressure, but also take a lot of it away. Versus, you know, going up,
Takes a
no
lot
one
of it
knows
away.
who you are. Yeah, that's cool shit.
It does. It takes a lot of it away, and I think that some comics get kind of caught up in that fame, in that success, where they laugh at everything you say, or just your personal experience becomes a joke because people think of you so highly that just everything you say is relevant and funny. And I think that as a comedian and as a person in their shoes, with this massive success and they're touring and they have these huge podcasts. I hope that there's some level of like integrity within them where they're like, yeah, but that's not funny. Like I have to keep trying and I have to keep working this. And then like the people who are doing that, I think, are the ones who are staying relevant and who are going to continue to kind of break boundaries in this game. So yeah, I think it's definitely a balance that they have to find. I don't know, looking from the outside looking in, that's just what I think.
But it's got to be hard, right? Like once you reach a certain level, like something that I hear Rogan talk about a lot is that he still goes into clubs and works out in these smaller clubs in Austin. But if you were that big, if you were like Dave Chappelle level, where you got to bring bodyguards with you everywhere you go, like how are you supposed to just, you know, be able to go anywhere and work out new jokes and without there being like 2,000 people that paid a lot of money? And I mean that's just got to be hard. I guess technically you could pop in anywhere, but it's when you're that big to the point where you have to, like, people will freak out if they see you. That's got to
I
be
think
just
so.
different. It's got to
Well,
be
I'm
hard to
I'm
develop.
from Dayton. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. So I think I don't know how it is in Austin, but I know Dayton's a small town and Dave does a lot of like shows here in town, and I think a lot of the times before, during, and after, while those stages are set up, he does time for people, and I've just heard like he'll do like smaller gigs and just like go up and do some time for people in the middle of the day on a stage at his farm. So he definitely,
Awesome.
yeah, he definitely works out, and I'm sure Rogan probably has places where he knows it's like a Wednesday and no one's there or whatever, or maybe they do. maybe they do only want to do these jokes in front of massive crowds because they're going to be going to arenas and stuff. I don't know what that level of comedy feels like, or even how I would.
It's gotta be insane.
Yeah, I don't know how to approach it.
No, I don't know either. But that's sick that he just puts on people like shows for everyone in Dayton. I mean, that's a whole nother. I think it's you can only do that if you live, you know, secluded from like an LA or in New York, in a place where the whole community it seems like has his back. And
Yeah, people don't really give a shit if you're famous around here. There's a lot of like authors and like a couple of movie stars who live here in Yellow Springs and like Dayton area, and I don't know. It's just a low key town. It's almost like it's actually it's. I like doing stand up here because it's hard. It's like everyone's very. It's hard to make people laugh. It's a tough town, and so
yeah,
I feel like people tell us that too. Like me and other comics from Dayton, as we go like regionally and other state to state and different places, they're like, "Oh, you guys have this like certain style of humor. You guys are just," and I think it's 'cause we're dark. We're a little bit dark, and we like want to push people's buttons. It's just that Midwest kind of stuff.
yeah.
We're all doing Chappelle. We're all just doing Dave. That's what it is.
So that's hard to do. That's hard to do. I mean,
No, I'm just kidding. But
um,
we do have it is like a harder mentality here. I don't know. It's almost like a Detroit or something. Or I don't know if you know anybody from Cincy, but they're a little more like liberal there and like kind of open-minded to stuff, and they let you kind of speak your mind, and you can do some more whimsical, really well thought out stuff if you go to stages in Cincy. But in Dayton, it's like you got to be like pow pow pow, like club comic, like really old school style to get people to laugh at these mics. So it's
have you
different.
ever gone up and performed in Cleveland?
No, I've never been to Cleveland, but I hear good things about Hilarities. Have you ever been up there?
Yeah, that's where I'm from originally. So
Oh, that's cool.
I lived there until about a year ago when I moved to. I live in Tampa now, but um, yeah, Hilarities is fun. I've performed there twice on like different tournaments and whatnot. Like got to go on their main stage, which is pretty sick. And they always have great acts coming in too. But then there's also a really good open mic scene in Cleveland. Obviously, it's just like this Facebook groups getting there, and then on
Yeah.
some bar shows and whatnot. But yeah, I haven't been to Dayton or uh, Cincinnati for comedy, but I've driven through both those. My dad's from Cincinnati too, so
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Cincy.
a Bengals
Mm. Nah, I don't really watch football, man. I'm not really. I like combat sports, and
fan? Okay.
I think I like combat sports because like you don't have to know any backstory. I don't have to buy any jerseys. I just show up and these two dudes duke it out, and it's like it's over. I get to
That's
go home. Like, yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But there's some combat going on in football, kind of like not direct, but there's
right.
some big collisions. I mean,
I
the
love it. I
Dolphins
respect the game.
almost killed their quarterback the other week. That's pretty
Really?
combative. Yeah, dude. This Tua, he had a concussion the week before, then got hit again, and his fingers like curled up. It was disgusting, dude. Like he was like
Oh,
knocked out. Have you seen the newest Stranger Things series where they get like crunched up and all their bones go
yeah,
wild?
Chrissy.
That's what he looked like. It just like
Oh
it was
my
disgusting.
God, dude, that's crazy. Could you imagine getting hit that hard, bro? Like, you just
On
turn into a
national TV,
different
it was
person.
a primetime game too.
Dude, you just start talking with an English accent. Oh, mate, is this football?
Start kicking the ball.
Yeah, yeah, just fucking. It's the wrong game, then, is it? Oh,
You
dude, he's terrible, bro. I can't
got
believe his fingers curled up. I'm gonna have to watch that when we get
so
done with this.
gross.
Oh, if I would have planned this a little bit better, I could have probably had my technical guy here and probably pulled up. I've never pulled up videos via Zoom though. I don't even do Zoom podcasts. I just really wanted to talk to you, and I've done them like two or three times out of the 60 something episodes that I've done. But so I'm not sure if you can do that, but I like to do that during the live show. I just think it makes it a little more dynamic for the viewers to kind of pull stuff on screen and have the camera going back and forth and shit. So,
Dude, next time I'm home for a while, what is that like a 3 hour drive? Maybe I could come down.
dude, that'd be sick. Yeah, maybe we can get a mic or we can hit a mic or something while you're here.
That'd be really fun. We should do that.
The local club here downtown Dayton, it's called Wiley's. It's the oldest club in Ohio, in the Midwest, they say, but they have a great Sunday show. It's usually sold out. It's like 200 people. But that's a good one to get on, and you can talk to this guy, Michael. I can send you the info, and maybe you can just book that next time you're in Ohio, and that'd be cool. Something we can do on like a Sunday, and then it's like 2 minutes from my studio. So
Yeah, that'd be sick.
yeah, that'd be awesome,
We
bro.
should. Yeah, we should. We should actually do that. because I'll be home for the holidays. It would be pretty soon, actually.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm off in the winter too, so I was thinking about going to like Texas for a week or maybe New York or something because I have a few months off. I don't
Yeah,
know where I want to go, but I want to go somewhere where I know someone and I have friends in New York, but I just
yeah.
want to get on Kill Tony. I just want to go down there,
Oh yeah,
you know, like go
yeah,
in on an Airbnb with a couple of fucking podcasters. We go vlog it or something. I don't
yeah.
know.
Dude, that sounds amazing because I've wanted to go hit up New York or LA for a while now just to see what interviews I could get like in person. Because I plan to do all mine in person because it's just so much better. Like it's funnier, it's just better. People enjoy watching it more.
I
I
think
think.
the actual person that you're interviewing actually gets a better impression of you, and they're going to remember you later down the road in the business too. If you're face to face,
Yeah,
shake their hand.
yeah, yeah. You're like meeting them, and so I originally only want to do all my interviews in person. So I flew out to Austin during one of their comedy festivals there to talk to Hans Kim and try to get some more um, meetings set up there. So I wanted to go do that in New York and Los Angeles too, but it just made more sense to be able to hit up these people on Zoom. I feel like some of the people I've talked to might not have done it if it was in person, but they would like in Zoom if that makes sense.
No, it
Uh,
definitely makes sense. Yeah.
but like I've been like I want to go do another trip, and the Austin trip was so much fun. Like it was during a festival,
Skankfest? Was
which
it
makes sense. What's that?
was it Skankfest?
No, it was like a just for laughs Moon Tower Comedy Festival. I don't know. I think it happens every year down there, but this year I just went for like 5 days, and it's like a 2 week thing. But I got a 5 day pass, and I went by myself. Complete. I had a hotel room, and for from like 3 p.m. to like 2 a.m. every single day was just comedians doing different shows together, live podcasts, like just regular stand up on the spot with Jeremiah Watkins, like all these different cool events in like 5 or 10 different venues you could walk around to. It was so much fun. It was the
Man.
most comedy I've ever seen in my life, probably all put together in like 5 days because it was 12 hours for like 5 days in a row, just complete different people, different acts. It was awesome. And then the other days you saw some people doing the same acts. So you got to learn kind of about what they said differently than the day before. Saw a lot of crowd work with these like upper echelon comedians, and it was like one of the biggest learning experiences I think ever going to a festival like that. But Austin itself, so much fun. I would definitely recommend doing that.
Dude, there's something to be said just about watching, very professional people do what they do best
Yeah,
versus going up on stage. And I'm not saying you don't want to get your 10,000 hours and you don't want to go and study all these people. But yeah, just watching them in general and not even being on the bill sometimes is a better. Like
yeah,
I've seen Rogan. I saw, and then I saw Hinchcliffe and Santino open for him at the Chicago Theater a few years ago, and then dude, it was such a crazy show. I just saw Segura a few months ago. I just saw Burr last like 2 weeks ago when he was in Cincy. So it's like sometimes for me, just like watching Andrew Schultz do special or something like that will cause me to like write a joke or to be inspired even more so than going and just trying my own new shit. It's like it also helps to know what works. You're like, okay, like this is, we're not stealing, right? Obviously, so don't take me wrong when I say what works, but like success leaves clues. So it's like the art itself, watching all these different people from different worlds perform and getting to go for 4 or 5 days like that, bro. I'm sure you just soaked up so much of the business that it's just like ingrained in you in a weird way, like something subconsciously, like right, you'll never forget that weekend. I'm sure.
and I think that honestly, like the next time I went to like an open mic, got on stage after that, I feel like I had so much more confidence that because it's just crazy to see these guys do the same set one day and then the next day as well. Oh, the screen just went black. I don't know if you can
Oh,
still
okay.
hear me.
Yeah, I think we've probably been going for a half hour. My display's
Oh, you're back.
there we go. Yeah, that display on that I told you got that new camera. A little
Yeah,
box on my face and shit. Looks good though, right? You like the
it looks
pumpkin
kind of
logo?
sick. It looks like an After Effect.
Do you like this?
I like the Jack
I
Lantern.
stayed up all night carving this for you. So
I
hope that you
like it. You got to keep it in there until it's completely rotten now.
Well, I was gonna take it back home, put it on my porch. I got a couple more episodes I'm gonna film with it today, and then Yeah, I don't think the owner of this building would be very happy if I if I kept a rotting pumpkin inside of his studio. I work here, but I don't own the place, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, I put a little candle in there and everything. There's a twinkle
Thank
in
you.
my eye. You know what I
I
mean?
really appreciate it.
I just wanted it to be festive. You know, it's a spooky time. I love spooky shit, man. What about you? What's your favorite scary movie, bro?
I hate scary movies.
Oh
I
my
hate them.
God. You're like,
Honestly,
this podcast is over.
like so I'm watching The Watcher on Netflix right now with my girlfriend. That's about as scary enough.
Oh my God, dude, it's
That's as
so
scary
good.
as I can
Oh
handle,
my
honestly.
God, dude. This is how good it was. Okay, I went to Nashville last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and then I got fucking, I don't drink, and I hadn't drank in like 2 years, and I just got peer pressured into getting hammered for 2 days. And so I was so hungover and I felt so bad. And I came
Yeah.
home, I was like, I just want to watch TV for like an hour. I'm gonna go to bed. I need rest. And then as soon as I turn this watcher on, bro, I stay up for 6 or 7 hours. I just binge
Damn.
watched the entire thing. I was like, I couldn't get enough of it. Knowing that it was a true story, I got drawn in so heavily.
I'm not all the way done yet, but
Well, no, there's no conclusion. I'll be honest. The end of the series is just like every episode. You're just left wondering what the fuck happened. I don't mean to ruin it for you, but it's fucking
dude, I had a few theories. I want to be careful because I don't want any spoilers, but I have a few theories going.
okay.
One of them, I think it could be Dean all along, which sounds crazy, but it makes sense.
What
Another one,
episode are you on before you say before you go any further?
they just got divorced at the end of the last episode, so
So you're like
she,
fourth episode? There's seven
yeah,
episodes. You're
yeah.
like halfway, a little more than halfway through. Okay.
Another thing, I think that the Theodora, whatever her name is, the PI, the black lady, I think she is working with the detective. If you haven't seen The Watcher, this is probably so boring. I'm just describing my
No, it's so good though. People at home, if you guys haven't seen this, go
yeah,
watch the show. It's incredible on Netflix.
it's
It's
terrifying.
it's so scary because this guy gives up everything he has to
Yeah,
to make a better life for his family, and it's just the American dream gone wrong, man. It's so fucked up.
it
It's
is crazy. It's
it's
scary. It's
scary.
like
It could happen
uncomfortable
to
to
anyone.
watch. You need to like if you watch it before bed, you need to have a palate cleanser after. You need to watch some stupid shit after.
You
You can't
watch
just go
stand
right
up or something.
to
Go
watch
watch
some
Gillian
family
Key's new
episode.
special.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you
Just to
seen
make you
that?
feel
Have
better.
you-
I have. It's
Dude,
yeah, that was
what the
incredible.
hell is going on, dude? Like that was one of the best stand-up pieces, and not standalone stand-up, obviously, but it's just one of the funniest things I've seen in a long, long time. You know,
And they did it all. Like they it's so crazy that you it was such high level stuff. It looked like anything that's come from any of these other big sketch groups like Key and Peele or SNL or whatever. Like the
so
production was so good. The skits or sketches or premises were obviously hilarious. Like I don't know, man. It's incredible.
the
I
age
don't
of
get
the
why.
Flint one, oh my God, bro. God.
Yeah, and that's like straight from stand up. Like
Well, I actually
that's
listened
hilarious.
to a episode of Flagrant, and I think Shane Gillis was on there. It might have been Flagrant, but I think that Shane Gillis said he was telling that joke. It was like a one-liner, and he told it to Mark Norman or something like that. And Norman was like, "Dude, that's a fucking like that's a movie, or that's like a I don't know if it was Norman, but it was like somebody in the business that he told it to, like offhandedly, and they were like, "You should film that." It was like,
Yeah,
okay,
and they were right. It worked
totally.
perfectly on the screen. I don't get why like more advertising agencies like doing commercials. Why you wouldn't just hire like Gillian Keeves or any comedians to be like, okay, write me basically like a sketch for my commercial, like Super Bowl commercials or something. I don't know who they're written by, but I don't think it's like stand-ups. Wouldn't that make so much sense? Like everyone's trying to make these
It
funny
would.
commercials.
I think that's because that's our world, so we know that it would make sense because we see that it gets a few million views. But like on the overall bigger picture, like I don't think stand up is as mainstream as we want it to be. Like Rogan is mainstream, and it makes it seem like everything is that now. I think that there's just too much politically correctness and too much there's too many advertising dollars out there for these companies to like risk it with people like us.
Sure, that makes sense.
It's
Yeah,
like
that makes
at
sense.
the end
I
of the
always
day,
forget how niche stand-up still is because it seems like it's like
Well, it's so much part of your world. You probably, in mine as well. It's hard to look outside of that narrow perspective sometimes. But you're
Because
right, bro. They would sell.
there's people that like I would be like so excited or like nervous or just pumped to meet that most of the world has they've never heard of them. They would walk right by them. They don't care about them, and that's just so crazy to me because I don't know, like other celebrities or people like that, or like athletes or actors and stuff. Everyone knows who at least that is by name, or like if you, everyone would know who LeBron James is if he was walking past you, or if
Yeah.
you said that you met him. But there's still people like as big as Tom Segura is. That if I was like, dude, look at this picture of me and Tom Segura, this is crazy. They'd be like, I don't know who that
I
is.
was doing a show in like BFE somewhere, some Hobunk town, and there was a guy who was like Segura's doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
And we like me, myself and the other comics walked up to him. And we were like getting pictures with him because it was funny. And we were like, dude, you look just like Tom Segura. And he's like, who's that? And we're like, because he was telling us he was a huge comedy fan. He's like, I watch stand up all the time. You guys were great. And we're like, dude, you look just like Segura. Is that people tell you that all the time? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
See, like that. That's insane. Yeah, that's so crazy.
You're fucking
And
twin, bro.
even myself, there's sometimes people that will be like, because as the channel's grown, like there's more of an international audience. Some videos, like people will comment like, why don't you ever talk about or cover this and this or so and so. I'm obsessed with comedy. I've never heard of still some of these people. So even myself, like inside of it, it's just such a broad range too of comedians that there's people that I should probably know that I've never heard of, especially like overseas comedians or in the UK. And it's like if I don't know about it, like that's I thought I knew most of these successful like comedians. That's what I'm trying to,
Well,
you know.
there's your door to the future, bro. Maybe a second channel or maybe some follow-up videos with like I don't know, Ricky Gervais or like, Jimmy Carr. And those guys have podcasts over there. I'm sure there's a whole atmosphere, like a whole how do you say ecosphere of things that we're not
Yeah,
aware of that you can probably pull in a lot more fans from across the world. And
that's true.
I was just listening to Mr. Beast when he was on Flagrant. I seem like that's the only podcast I watch is fucking Flagrant and JRE, but and Two Bears, um,
Yeah,
and yours. But what was I gonna say? So essentially, yeah, Mr.
different
Beast,
channels.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Beast was on there, and he was just attesting to the fact that after they started doing like dubs in different languages for their videos, that's when they really took off and started getting into the billions of views because only like 6% of the whole world, or maybe like 10% of the world, speak English. So I feel like and even less people know about America, 7 billion people. So it's like if you start getting into those other countries and those other niches, bro, I think you could really be successful with that too. Not to tell you what to do. I just was
no, that's a
my
great idea.
intuition told me to tell you.
I love that, and it makes sense. It would definitely work, but I don't know. Like, I should like hire someone from the UK or like the reason I think why Joe Kroll is able to work right now at least is because I know like I love this world. I'm up to date on these guys. But I already was like I was already fans of all these podcasts before this. So I don't know what the hell I would be saying if I started talking about like these UK comedians. I'd have to either study or hire someone to give me some intel or tell me what clips are good because I'm just not educated enough at
I
the
love
moment.
that idea, dude, of you branching out and having like a Spanish fucking version of it and a UK version of it. This is saying that we have 10 minutes left on the recording here, so we'll cut it soon. But I love that idea, bro, because it's joke world, right? I think you build something that is
That's
bigger than you, and you're already realizing that now. And then 10 years from now, 5 years from now, I really hope that this all culminates, bro. And I also hope that if stand-up comedy is what you want to do for a living, I hope that works out for you too because you're a really cool dude, bro, and I think you got a lot of big things happening for you, and your success is coming for a reason. So, super happy to talk to you today.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to hear, and I thank you for having me on and promoting the channel and saying those nice things about the channel because I mean I hope so too, man. It's yeah, I one day I would hope that Joke World could be, a staple brand of comedy. Like if you think about sports, you think about Sports Center. When you think about comedy, I hope people one day will just automatically associate Joke World with that. So, but yeah, thank you for having me on. This is a great conversation, and let's do something in Ohio soon.
We're gonna do that, bro. It's cool that we're both Ohio boys. I'm glad to know that. And yeah, it was great talking to you. You people, thank you so much for watching this. Go down to the bottom and hit that subscribe button. Go follow Joke World on Instagram and make sure you follow their YouTube channel. He has some amazing videos. I'm not even kidding. Make sure you go follow his channel. Dude, thanks so much for talking with me today. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and I'll talk to you soon and send you these links and stuff.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Ciao, brother.